G'day guys, and welcome back to ADOS the Great YouTube channel. So today's video, guys, as you can see here, scrap the top of that because we're not actually doing that. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be ranking my contenders this year. So who I think can contend for a premiership. So let's start by eliminating teams. So not a chance. Crows, I doubt they'll make the finals. Collingwood won't make the finals. Suns are gone. Hawks are gone. North Melbourne are gone. I think Carlton, I'm popping them there. So we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams that probably could fight for a final spot. Now, pretenders, let's talk about this. So I think teams that are possible contenders, I'm going to put them in at the front here, and then we'll talk about the other teams. Nope. Alright, so pretenders. Personally, I actually think the Demons are pretenders. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, no, well, look at them. They're playing so well this year. They should be at least in possible contenders. I disagree with that. Yeah, they are playing good footy, but I just think when finals time comes, they're going to really struggle in the big games. They've lost games that they definitely should be winning. And yeah, I think they're probably going to wrap it up with winning the minor premiership, but I don't see them contending for a final spot. They will be definitely in that probably top 2-3 range. As I said, more than likely going to get the minor premiership. But yeah, I can't really put them up here. I'm sorry, Demons fans, you're probably going to hate me for that. But as an Eagles fan, it's not much better for me, as I am putting them in the pretender category as well. West Coast will probably just slot into the finals, and I'll be cheering for them all the way and hope they can make a run and win the premiership, but it's looking very unlikely. They have played some absolute shocking games, losing to North Melbourne, which is very disappointing. A good win over Adelaide. They started off the game very poorly though, so I was disappointed about that. But we bounced back and we got a good win there. Losing to North Melbourne really killed us. And the big loss to Sydney just wasn't good enough. So it just goes to show that we won't be able to compete against those top 6 sort of teams. So I do think that we are definitely in the pretender range there. Alright, next up we have got... Who do I think? I think Freo can make a push for a slight premiership chance, but I don't see them getting there. I think they'll probably fight with West Coast and a couple of other teams for that 8th spot. But yeah, definitely pretenders. I don't see them beating any of the top 6 teams. Next, Essendon. Personally, I think Essendon and West Coast will round out the 7th and 8th spot. Yeah, I think Essendon have definitely showed that they can go toe-to-toe with some of the better teams in the comp. I think in the big games like the finals, when everyone's sort of trying to get all their best players back, I don't think Essendon will be able to beat some of like these sort of teams. But I definitely think that they could definitely... So if we were going to say anything, I'd say these 2 teams are probably the 2 that could probably knock off one of those top 6 teams. But for now, yeah, I think Essendon are pretenders definitely. Next up, I'm actually going to go the Saints. I think I highly doubt they'd go anywhere near beating any of the top 6 teams at the moment. I think they'd struggle there. Definitely think they're a chance at finals, but yeah, same with Essendon and Fremantle. I just don't see them being able to play against these better teams in the top 8. So yeah, I don't see them making the 8 personally, but there's definitely a chance. And if they do, I can't see them beating any of those teams. I'd say they'd probably get knocked out first round by the Swans if they finish 8th, or maybe the Lions. Depends on how the ladder finishes, obviously. But yeah, Richmond are probably my next bet. I think they will probably drop about 3. What would that make them? About 11th on the ladder. I think their season's pretty much over, especially with Dusty out. That they're not going to do any better. So yeah, then last, Giants. Giants would be lucky to slot into the 8, in my opinion. They just haven't shown any glimpses of how they were in 2019. I think that grand final really absolutely hammered their confidence. So yeah, they're my pretenders. Definitely think probably, as I said before, these 2 teams could make a case for being up there as possible contenders. I do think Essendon can battle hard against some of these 5 teams. But now we're going to get into the possible contenders. Sydney Swans are definite possible contenders. They've shocked me this year. I definitely didn't have them that high up the ladder. And I think that if the Lions continue playing as poor as they have been in some games, the Swans could definitely jump over them as well. So yeah, Swans are definitely up there as my possible contenders, but I don't think you'd have them locked in as definite. Next up, I've got the Lions. I would have loved to have the Lions higher as a definite contender. One of my favourite teams other than West Coast. Yeah, not much really more to say. I do think the Lions should probably be up here, and it hurts me to put them on this line. And got a lot of mates that are Brisbane Lions fans, obviously living in Brisbane and Queensland. But yeah, I think I think they've hit a bit of a form slump and could definitely not make the top 4. But yeah, that's my possible contenders. I think Port Adelaide can probably join that one as well. I don't think that I don't know. It's tough. These 5, I'm going to put them on here just so I can sort of see everything. These 5 are probably the teams to beat, in my opinion, at the moment. I think Melbourne will fall off in the finals, just personally my opinion. Yeah, finally though, I'm going to put the Bulldogs up in definite contenders. They've looked amazing this year, haven't really lost too many games by a lot of points, I don't think. Just let me fact check that, but I'm pretty positive Western Bulldogs have had a pretty good run this year, but I will fact check that because I do want to make sure that is right. Let's see, Bulldogs. Their recent win over the Suns was, only won that one by 11, but the Suns are improving. I'll give them that. Swans beat the Bulldogs, but they haven't really had too many big losses. Their biggest loss this year there's not many. Richmond beat them by 22. Melbourne beat them by 28. I think that's probably the biggest loss they've suffered this year. So losing to Melbourne, and Melbourne is starting to fall off. I don't think any team's really going to threaten them too much. The only other team I can probably say is Geelong. Geelong are probably the only other team that could really pose too much of a threat. But that's probably my tier list there, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll probably do an NRL one for this as well, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. A bit different for me. I thought since we're coming close to the end of the year, I'd do this sort of video and see the response it got. Yeah, look, you're probably going to go, he knows nothing about the AFL, and that's fair enough. You know, we're all entitled to our opinions. This is just mine. So, yeah. Well, guys, I hope you have at least enjoyed this one. Please don't give me too many dislikes. I've tried to be as nice to most of the teams as I could. I even put the Eagles down as pretenders. Would have loved to have them up here for sure, but I personally think that Essendon deserve to be in this more than West Coast, so don't hate me too much for this. Yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.